cheer for your Sydney Swans.
Welcome back to A Bevy of Bloods, a fan podcast of the Sydney Swans Football Club.
So to all you loyal Swans out there, you just can't get enough of the red and the white.
Fluff up your tail feathers and settle in for a potentially biased yarn about all things to do with our beloved Bloods.
G'day there, Signets and Swanlings. Welcome back to A Bevy of Bloods. You're joined, as always, by the boy from Sydney. I'm Chris, and this week we have a very, very, very special guest. We have the big boss, Doss. Hey, Hayden McLean, mate, welcome to the Bevy.
Thank you very much. Honoured to be here.
Fantastic, mate. Well, firstly, congratulations on the season so far. It's been superb. It's been fantastic as a fan watching it, mate. How's it felt on that side of the locker room?
No, exactly that. I think it's the fans that keep saying it looks fun and their enjoyment, but I think it's the exact same on our side. The locker room's good vibe. Coming in every Monday is a good vibe. Even though we lost on the weekend, we still know we're in a good place and a bit of a fix up on the weekend. But it's just enjoyable. It feels like a fun environment, a safe environment, and we're just thriving with it.
Oh, I love it, mate. It does definitely feel like that from the outside in. So it's good to hear from inside those walls a little bit. Mate, about you in particular, you had a great game. Look, 68 games into your career. It's early July 2024, of course. It's been quite a journey to get to where you are. Just tell me, and just a bit of honesty, if you don't mind, like, how does it feel to finally be one of those guys in the Swans wearing the red and white, mate, and being an integral part of that team?
Yeah, no, as you said, it's been a different journey or a longer journey than I guess some people, but it's some of those things that Swans was such a big club and it always has been, and to be, I guess, a good part of this team, it is an honour. And I think me and Juzzy the other day were just pinching ourselves a bit and just had that gratitude that look where we are sort of moment. I remember it was last Friday, day before the game, we're just like, when we were a kid, we'd dream of something like this, to be playing in such a good club, successful club, and to be playing the way we have this year and to have an impact on that, it's definitely an honour, and it's something you just got to keep reminding yourself.
And no doubt, it's no secret that the Swans fans are pretty crazy in a lot of ways, but maybe not as crazy as some other fan clubs out there. But there's a lot of love to that locker room, and it feels like in that locker room, the Bloods culture kind of goes through the locker room and out and across the fan base everywhere. Do you get that sense of importance about what it takes to wear the Bloods colours?
Oh, 100%. I think from where sort of started to, Swans moving up to Melbourne to even the last couple of years with the growth through COVID, I think I really noticed that the Swans the fans doubled down and got around us a lot more through that COVID time. And as the game grew, I think the membership and crowds, just look at this year. We've had three games which closed the doors on the weekend. And, we had 35,000 on the weekend, but I think we're averaging around 40,000 at home games. And to do the march, to give them sort of an insight to that, I think it's a pretty special club that you can get the intimacy with us, and we can get it with the fans as well. And we definitely feel it on the weekends, and even when we go to Melbourne or Perth, there's always a good bunch coming to the games, and you feel loved everywhere.
I love that, mate. Look, let's get stuck into your game on the weekend. Didn't get the points, but nonetheless, you had a particularly great game, clunking some pretty solid marks out there, a couple of goals to go with it. How did you feel about your game on the weekend? I know you've been working a lot of things, we'll get into that, but what were you particularly happy about on the weekend for you?
No, I think just, that presence is a key forward. Probably a couple of games this year where it wasn't as evident, but I think just having that presence, especially in that first half, sort of being that tall to stand up in a pack or take a mark, just sort of get a bit of momentum going our way. I think just having that big boy presence, as you like to say, I was pleased with on the weekend.
I love it. Look, you have this year and in previous times, of course, been all about the ruck and forward craft, playing that kind of dual role and big man role. On behalf of my co-host and good mate, Noddy, have you ever eyed off the defence back there and then said, you know what, I'll have a crack at that?
I think there was maybe one stage, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, Horse just sort of said, have you ever thought about playing backline? And
Right.
I was like, oh, I played it when I think it was under 16s. I came back from a knee injury and played, I think it was 6 months or the halfway through the season at centre half back, but yet to play there again. And I think I'm pretty happy forward and ruck at the moment, but who knows? Who knows what could happen?
Mate, I tell you what, this is going to make Noddy very happy. The fact that Horse has suggested it to you, because he's been quietly screaming it for a little while, thinking that you got the tank and the big body
Yeah.
to go with it, mate. So he'll be very happy with that. Look, on a little bit of a negative, we have been a bit slow getting off the mark this year in those first quarters. It's been noted, clearly. You personally, anything that you're doing to do your part in the game to help with that kind of quiet starts?
I think it's just trying to get the boys, I guess, as we're, won a few games this year, a lot of teams are, I guess, exciting themselves up, gearing themselves up for that first quarter to try, I guess, come at us, shake us off guard. And, it's happened at times, but we've been able to bring it back. I guess on the weekend, we probably let it slide a bit too much. But I think in terms of personally for me, I've just worked on being ready as soon as I can. I do my boxing before we run out just to get myself on edge and ready to go. But I guess every player will have their unique things. Some boys like to be calm, some like to be up and about. But I think it's just we've got to, I guess, get ourselves up as well for that challenge straight away. And we do bring it back, but it's just that, at the end of the quarter, which we'd like to probably do in the, first 5 to 10 minutes or start on time. But I think it's just understanding that we might have to absorb it for a few minutes and then just go back at them.
Yep, fair enough. Look, and once you guys start getting momentum, it definitely gets carried through. That's been seen multiple times this season, at home or away. But as you said there's typically a good Swans contingent wherever you go around the world. So how much does the crowd really help you propel through those real pumping periods where you're scoring and everything's going your way?
Yeah, well, I think especially at home, once you kick a couple, the crowd gets into it and the Sydney chant gets going around and you can just feel that aura around the ground and that momentum. But even at, when we play in Melbourne, we got that massive South Melbourne base down there. A few games, I remember the Doggies game when we were coming back, you could actually hear them. It felt like there was more almost of the Swans than Doggies fans there. And to be able to have that in interstate, I think is a really strong niche that we've got. And even, when we go to Perth, there is a bit of a cheer squad behind there for us. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
To feel that love everywhere is pretty special, and the boys definitely don't ignore that or not hear it. We love it every time.
That's awesome. It's. I tell you what, from my side in the O'Reilly stand, we go bananas. We're probably the loudest blokes going around. So if you do hear us slurring a bit towards the end of the game, we apologise in advance, man.
No,
How much time do you spend on working on your forward craft and your ruck craft? Is it a 50-50 split, or does it come down by the requirement on the week?
yeah, definitely week by week it'll probably change, but I think more so I probably work on my forward craft. I think growing up I was just predominantly a ruckman. I was a big kid, and that's when you're a big kid as a young fella, you just get put in the ruck, and I learnt that pretty quick. And Dad played ruck when he was a kid, so he could naturally teach me all those aspects of the ruck. And then it wasn't sort of probably till I was maybe 17 when I think Dermy was my local coach. He's just like, look, I think you're going to have to learn forward as well. And then from probably that, 17, 18, I really just started to hone in on the forward craft because I feel like ruck craft normally comes a bit more natural to me. So I'd say it's probably, a 70-30 split where 70 is forward craft throughout the week. And then towards the back end, I'll do, review my position, ruck what they want to do, and then I'll just do a bit of technique stuff with that.
Okay. On the forward craft, has Papley ever given you a hand on what to do in that space, or has he mostly tried to tell you what to do in the ruck craft as well? What's he all about?
Not quite the ruck craft. A few times, if I'm rucking the forward 50 stoppage, he will. He's a dangerous forward there. It's good to connect with. But no, all the forwards have been super. Paps has always just kept it simple with me, and just we need that contest up forward. As a small, he wants it brought to ground or marked, not intercepted. So if I can bring it to ground, he's always rewarding in that aspect, and he's hard on it, which is good.
Has he ever tried to show you how to jump at the ball a bit better as a big man, or has he ever given you some of those tips?
No, not quite yet. I don't think he hasn't given me too many of them, but I think he was that All-Star game, he took one on Millsy almost,
Yeah, yeah.
which was good to see. So he's got it in him, but yet to try teach me how to do it, yeah.
Okay, good. Some time. Look, who's given you the most hand? Who's been the most involved in your progression as a forward? And then the same question as a ruckman at the Swan. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think Dean Cox has obviously been a massive help for me, but then also Horses helped me a lot throughout the time. Just he was sort of that undersized ruck when he played as well, so we can sort of connect on that level. And it's not necessarily winning every tap; it's just trying to halve it, influence their rucks contest, and then as a small, just try, I guess, get around the ground a bit more and use those abilities. And then as a forward, obviously Bud and Reedy is two senior key players that have played in big games, played good careers, great careers. They've been able to give tips along the way. And then just at the moment, me, Logan and Joel have just been basically bouncing off each other. Whenever we do forward craft, we all do it together. It's just sort of that learning off each other as quick as we can in different aspects. You know, Joel's athletic, can jump. Logan can get up, run, contest it as well. We've all got different aspects, and we can sort of help each other with that.
That's awesome. Has Horse ever showed you highlight clips of himself and try to emulate the way that he's played your way, or what's happened there? Is he showing you on a regular basis, weekly, daily? How's that work?
He hasn't shown too much, but he always reminds you. I know when Joel might have kicked a few 9 the other week. You know, Horse just remind him that he's done it a few times. But no, he's very good in that instance in terms of he knows forwards very well, and he'll even do a lot of vision with us 1-on-1, which is, you know, as a head coach, I think that's really respected, and he's been in that position, so he's done it multiple times. So you listen.
Your aspirations on the footy field. I don't want to talk too much about what the future looks like for this season. Of course, we keep it week to week. But your aspirations as a player, as the player you want to become, what are you looking at improving in your game at the moment?
Yeah, I think on the weekend was a massive step in what I wanted. I think back end of last year, that contested mark, that presence around the ground, probably play a bit higher. And in the ruck, so being able to have that big boy presence around the ground, that contested ability. But I think it's also now being able to do that inside 50 and hit the scoreboard and do my part in that. But I think for me, it's just doubling down on that marking ability, releasing the pressure with long down the lines, and then just in the ruck compete and, you know, get around like another mid and push in defence a bit, like on the weekend, take a mark here and there and just have that impact around the whole ground. And I think I look back to that Carlton game last year where I was just, you know, marking in different spots and having that presence around the whole ground. I think that's where I can be utilised best.
Awesome. I appreciate that. A bit of insight. Couple more questions, if you don't mind. One quick one. Would you prefer to get mark of the year or goal of the year?
I think mark of the year would probably be, I think I'd rather take the mark of the year. I think goal of the year could be a bit flukish, but mark takes a lot of skill.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I reckon you've probably got it in you too. Your favourite memory on the footy field up until now in the AFL?
I think I'm not, I guess, necessarily the game in the grand final, but that whole week build up. But I think you can't go past the Buddy 1000 goal. I think besides my debut game, which is always going to hold a high memory in me, but to be a part of something like that that's, you know, never happened in a while and it's probably never going to happen again, just to be able to live that at the SCG at a home game and for the way the crowd reacted, and I'm sure you were there, it's just a crazy experience that I don't think anyone will be able to witness or experience again, and to be a part of that is pretty surreal and special.
Mate, I lost a shootout day, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen again for that. But it was, superb. What was your part of all of that? Where were you, and what was happening on your side?
So I think I literally just came off, I reckon, a minute before, and we were all on the bench, and he was lining up, and we were going to go run on as well. But obviously the interchange steward was like, if you go on, you know, your extra players on the field. So we had to stand back on the bench there, and just people running past us, high-fiving, knocking over, just sort of sent it off on the outskirts until he sort of made his way over, and then we could meet him halfway. And just to be a part of all that was, as I said, it was pretty surreal. And I guess it's like one of those dreams that you feel like it just wasn't real.
A dream is a good way to describe it. That's exactly what kind of goes through my mind as I start thinking about it as well. Mate, we've got one more thing I just wanted to talk through with you. We interviewed Marty a couple of weeks ago. We suggested that he needs a song. Of course, Fight for Your Right to Party makes a lot of sense for him. He felt he'd never heard it before. I don't know if I believe it. But the bevy has been crunching some serious numbers, and we've been trying to get together to find a song for you. So, Dos, the boss, being Bruce Springsteen. Are you a fan?
Who's this? Bruce
Springsteen, otherwise known as the boss. Yep. Okay,
The
good.
Boss.
Because if you weren't, you didn't have a choice nonetheless. So the numbers have been crunched already for you, mate. So there's a few songs, and you tell me whether any of them fit for you. Okay. I'm on Fire, which speaks for itself, really. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that song. Okay.
Great song, yeah.
Okay, Jungle Land, because you come from Victoria and it's not quite a jungle, but global warming long enough, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The Promised Land, being the journey into the AFL, maybe.
Yeah, don't mind that. Bit of story.
Okay. Yep. Okay, cool. Dancing in the Dark. Do you like dancing? Do you like the dark? I don't know.
Not a massive dancer, so I think the Fire one at the start's holding top place.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry about that last one. I don't know who wrote that down. We'll find out. And the last one, Born to Run. Strong runner, get around the ground. What about that one?
I don't mind that one as well. I reckon that one or the I'm on Fire one.
All right.
I think we'll go the first selection. That's always the best one, isn't it?
I'm on Fire. Done. In that case, the petition will kick off. The bevy will get it going, and we'll get some songs going for you. So it's not just Errol with his own personal songs there, mate. Mate, yeah, exactly. It's kind of hard to beat that one, really. Namesake. Look, Hayden, I really appreciate your time on the bevy, and I hope you have an absolute scream of the rest of the season. And up until now, it's been brilliant. So good luck for the season, mate. And we'll chat next time we chat with you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Up the Bloods, up the 20s.
Thank you very much. It's good to see you.